welcome to the Wyoming Knits podcast. My name is Jenny Lee, and this is where I like to talk about all of the knitting things that I've been up to. Today I'm coming to you from Southwest Wyoming, where I live with my husband, our daughter, and our little Yorkie Dax. You can find me on Instagram as Jenny Lee Knits. You can find me on Ravelry as Jenny Lee S Knits. I have 5 finished objects today and a few whips that I would like to go through, and then we might talk about some future knitting or what I've been up to. So the first thing I would like to talk to you today about is my blanket that I finished. I finished the Painting Bricks blanket by Stephen West. I used some Redheart Super Saver yarn. So I did get finished. This purple color is Orchid, and the contrast color behind the bricks is Party Time. It's all in the Redheart Super Saver. This fits a queen size bed, so it is very large. I made this for my daughter. I cast it on last summer, and I just barely finished it a couple of weeks ago. My next finished object is my Malone Leggings. I was working on these last week and finished them. So it's all with scrap yarn. So now I'm completely finished both legs. I think this yarn was a Happy Mermaid. This one was the Yarnable Color Mermazing. This one is a Sinful yarn. I think it's called Mermaid. The rest of this leg is all made out of Yarn Cafe Creations from her My Little Pony and her Strawberry Shortcake minis. And then this other leg, after the Mermaid from Sinful Yarns, we have Unicorn Barf from Ridiculous Yarn. And then from here down is the rest of my Yarn Cafe creations. I've worn these. They are super comfortable. They're nice and warm. I am a first grade teacher here in Southwest Wyoming, and for our Dr. Seuss week, I think I'm going to wear them for Wacky Wednesday. All my little students are like, yes, wear your pants, wear your pants. So those are my 2 biggest finished objects, and now I have 3 pairs of socks. My first pair I forgot to show last time. These are my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks for January. I wanted to participate in the 9th annual Desert Vista Dyeworks sock Mal. So these ones are Daphne Zombody Blake. And you can see I have both socks finished. They don't match. I just cast off and cast on again. I did these on 9-inch circular needles, US size 1, 2.25 millimeter. And these ones are for me, so I did 56 stitches. My next finished object is my February Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. These ones are in the Monkey Wrench colorway. And I did not make them match again. And my other socks you saw last time, work in progress. I finished my Felici socks. These ones I did on Addy Flexi Flips. I cast on 56 stitches, did a 2x2 cuff, slip stitch, heel flap and gusset, rounded toe, and these ones are the Yipes Stripes colorway. I have both of them. I'll put the other one on the blocker. And I also made these ones not matching. The Addy Flexi Flips were size 1, 2.25 millimeter. That was different than the 9-inch circulars. Took me a minute to get the hang of it. I think I'm going to give them a break for a little while and stick with my 9-inch circulars. So that was all of my FOs. Let's talk about what I'm wearing today. Today I'm wearing the Adult So Faded sweater by Andrea Mowry of Drea Renee Knits. I'll stand up so you can see the whole thing. This is just a Knit Picks yarn. I think it was the Stroll Tonals. I used my leftover yarn from a shawl that I made. I made the On the Spice Market shawl. I finished this one in 2001, right before school started. So it is a nice warm sweater to wear in the fall and the spring. I've started making another one out of just a whole bunch of tones of green. That one is just waiting to get finished. I have it in my Bags by Awesome Granny. These are also just some Knit Picks yarn that I had with the green on the first sleeve. And then I'll have to go back and pick up the neckline. So this one's been on the needles for a little while. I work on it here and there. My next work in progress is my Twists and Turns shawl. I have this in a bag by Lila Styles. This might be Twinkle and Twilight. I got a kit from Yarnaceous Fibers. She did a mystery kit to go with the mystery knit along. This one is my main color, my contrast color, and my pop of color. It looks like I am in the middle of a row. So we will try to hold it up as best we can. I've got both of the sides done. Just on the border on the bottom. And hopefully I will be finished with this pretty soon. when we got the clue for these little belts, these little slip stitch, no, twisted cables. I didn't know what was happening with that, so I took a break and then I waited to see some other ones with that clue finished and what was going to happen next, and said, okay, yeah, I can do that. That'll be okay. And then it was partway through November and Advent season and Christmas. So this one went in hibernation for a little while, and now that Christmas knitting is done and that blanket is done, I can pull this back out and work on it. My next work in progress is another sweater. This is the Snow Pine sweater. I have it all bunched together. The Snow Pine sweater by Wool & Pine. This is a Sassy Sacks that I got on Etsy. Let's see. I have my yarn in here. This is another Yarn Cafe Creations yarn. There is 5 balls attached to this right now. This is a very neat construction. So the 2 sleeves are going to be completely in this color. This is the underbrush color. This is the spring moss color. The front and the back is in that color. And then these little black flecks is this one, and this one is called Mascara. So I'm just working on the body. I've made one of these before. I made one for my daughter. I ordered the yarn together. I made hers, and then I waited to make mine. And I cast this on end of December. I said I would like my sweater. And so I've been working on that after school. I'm working on a hat for one of our friends. This is the Midas hat. You do a provisional cast on and knit for the amount it says, fold it over on itself so you have a nice edge for the brim. Then you just knit, do some decreases at the top. This is another Zen Yarn Garden. Don't think I have the tag. And I think this one is Gray Wolf. So hopefully I can have this done before the end of March. living in my little llama bag by Tea Cake Makes. And then I have a blanket that I cast on before Christmas. It gets a little bit of work every once in a while. I cast on the Painting Bricks blanket by Stephen West. It's a scrappy blanket holding 2 strands of fingering together to make a DK. I think you start right here where this purple is, purpley blue. Then you make this little triangle. Then you build off the little triangle. And add a little more on the so there's 47 sections. If I do 1 section a month, I can have this done by the end of the year. And I have it in a huge tote that my mom got me for Christmas. Just this big tote with all the yarn. I went through my stash, grabbed a whole bunch of colors that I was like, I don't know if I want socks out of that one. And I had some Mayan brand. This is some kind of acrylic sparkle that I bought when I first started knitting socks. I was like, oh, Walmart has stuff that'll work. Not really. So each section is going to have a little bit of sparkle something. I have these ones. These ones are Zen Yarn Garden. They did a splash, glitter splash something. I can't remember the name of that one. And then some more knit picks, just some different colors that I thought might go well together. So each section's going to have some kind of sparkle and some other color. I have 2 more finished objects. Not finished objects. I have 2 more works in progress. I did cast on a blanket using my Row 1 minis. I cast on the Scrap Witchery blanket. It starts with an I-cord cast on, and then you continue the I-cord up the sides. That way there's no finishing you have to do after you're done. You don't have to go back and pick up any stitches. So this is a really fun project. And I'm just holding it with some Stroll Dove Heather. I'm just reaching in my Row 1 bag and pulling out the next color. So that will be one of my long-term whips. I have one more. I started a Winter League pullover by Two of Wands. Strings Attached is doing a cowl. Anything knit or crocheted from the Two of Wands, you can enter into their cowl. I've done one already. I did a sweater for my daughter for Christmas. She also got the Winter League pullover. This one I'm using the Lion Brand Hometown and the color Salem Creek. Just this nice black, gray with a little bit of pink. And I've connected the front and the back and started the little crossover on the front. And that's as far as I've got. This is a chunky yarn. It's a size 6, so it knits up pretty fast. I think I got my daughter's done in 3 days over Christmas break. So I'll just keep working on this. This is a gift for one of my friends that I work with. And I think that is all my works in progress. We've had Valentine's Day, too cold to go outside days, and so when I get home, I've just been knitting, fix dinner, eat dinner, clean up the kitchen, and sit down and knit. So I think that is all for today. Happy knitting!